everybody. Listen, I'm glad I have the opportunity to be here today to present this award to Marty. And when I called him a few weeks ago, I should say, to advise him that he had received the award, I told him that I did it for a variety of reasons. For him personally, I think you're the first publisher who actually started out as a newspaper writer since Jim Bruce in the late 1980s, number one. He's a local guy who made good, now running, one of Canada's great daily newspapers. He is leading you through probably one of the most difficult eras that the newspaper business has gone through, this whole convergence. We just toured the new site. I think he said to me, and reflects, the confidence that Post Media has in this paper, in you. And when I gave it to him, saying I wanted to recognize the media, the Windsor Star particularly. Touring the new site was really amazing. And I told Marty a story about my mother, who relayed to me that the day of the Dieppe landing 70 years ago, Windsorites converged on this building. And I think if you go and look at the history, you'll see pictures, because this was a place they could get information and get it as quickly as you could get it anywhere else. So 70 years ago, probably right now, there were people outside on the street. Marty reminded me that happened at election time. If you look back in the history, you'll see that. And to see your new building coming to life, part of your vision, Marty, coming to life and become a hub in the community and a place for information in the 21st century. It's kind of a fitting tribute and testament. I think some 20,000 Canadians have received the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Medal. It recognizes their individual contribution, and so I was proud to nominate Marty. And when the Governor General advised us that he had been accepted, I was equally happy. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. This is a big, bad example of political butt kissing. Because I know many of you. But, Marty's known about the award for a number of weeks, and if current editorials are any indication, it's had absolutely no impact whatsoever. But it's delightful to be here. It's delightful to present this award, and I'll just take first of all the scroll and the medal. And Marty, I'm going to put this down. On behalf of Her Majesty and the Governor General of Canada, I'm proud to present you with the Diamond Jubilee Medal in recognition of your community service, your work with the Windsor Star, and in recognition of the media here in Windsor and right across the country. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Dwight, so much for that. To say that I'm deeply humbled by this is a gross overstatement. And those of you who know me would know that I accept this with all the humility and deference to the people around me who have made us successful and have made the Windsor Star part of a community in its deepest fabric. The life is full of funny twists and turns, not the least of which is that Dwight was the student council prime minister in my high school class at Assumption. So we've known each other, and he was a interested political participant even back in those days. When I was in college at Ryerson in Toronto, Windsor was going through one of its really bad spells. There was bad economic times. The auto industry was in a funk. There were other things going on in the city. There were some arguments about closing schools and just the usual growing pains go along with that time. And I recall a columnist in the Toronto Sun named Claire Hoy, who summed it all up by saying, Windsor's pretty well a lost cause. We should just padlock it. And I remember thinking, I was pretty inexperienced second-year journalism student at Ryerson. And so I decided I had to do something about that, and I wrote an editorial defending Windsor, which appeared in the Ryersonian under the heading, "Windsor is okay." And I recall applying that year for a summer internship at the Windsor Star. This is 1978. And I applied for a summer internship, not really thinking I would get it because I was not very experienced, only a second-year student, didn't have my graduate degree yet. But I was hired. And to this day, I think I was hired because of that little 400-word editorial which said Windsor is okay. And I think that's helped sort of frame my belief about our city, our community, and our paper since that time in 1978 when I came here. My first assignment, one of my first assignments, was to write the Diamond Jubilee edition of the Windsor Star, marking our 60th anniversary. I did that summer. And through the years, that's really what I've come to believe about our paper, is that we can bring about positive change in our community and do things that inform our readers, sometimes enrage them, sometimes, but provoke debate, which I think underscores that we can do good, we can do the right thing, and I think we try to do the right thing on a daily basis here at the Star. Evidenced as recently as our receipt of a Michener Citation of Merit for the great work we did on the police case here in Windsor. I'm so proud of all of you for that, and I'm so proud of all of you for the support that you've given all of us in our movement to stay in the downtown. And I think now this is a case of us with bricks and mortar and with people of saying we can do the right thing. We can stay in our downtown. We can help its revitalization. David Meda is here, and I wish you would just stand up and say hello to David. David is the owner of the building that we will be inhabiting at the Palace, and he's going to be our landlord. And I've come to know David quite well over the past few months, and he has been so cooperative, so energetic, so committed to this project, and I applaud you for that, David. Thank you. As Dwight said, we just completed another tour of the building, and I think it's time for the rest of you to see it again, or have a chance to see it. It's coming along fabulously. I'm so delighted to see it, the shape that it's taking. David has invested a lot in making this a great workspace for us, but also a place that our community can be proud of. It could be a rallying point, hopefully a catalyst for downtown development. And if that's what I'm being recognized for, it's terrific, because it's a recognition that it reflects all of you and all of your work and all the friends that I've known here at the Windsor Star for more than 30 years. So thank you very much for coming today. I have to close by just acknowledging my family, because 30 years at the Windsor Star has meant I've been able to stay in my hometown for my entire working career and have my fabulous family here with me. My mother Dolores, who is my inspiration. Mom was the first one to keep clippings of my work when I was writing "Windsor is Okay" for the Ryerson. It would appear in a scrapbook in Mother's kitchen, and she's been a great inspiration for me and my sister Betty and her husband Keith, very close to us. My wife Nancy is my partner and soulmate, and my son Michael is my inspiration as well, my new inspiration for the future. So Dwight, on behalf of the Windsor Star team, thank you for nominating me, and thank you for seeing this through. And it doesn't mean we aren't going to bash you tomorrow in an editorial of some type, but I think John said you get a 24-hour sabbatical, and then we're back at it again. So thanks very much.